Every water heater in America ships with the temperature set to 140 degrees. The Department of Energy says it should be 120. That 20-degree difference is costing you anywhere from $36 to over $200 a year, depending on how much hot water you use. Nobody at the store mentioned it. Nobody at install mentioned it. The manual is sitting in a drawer you haven't opened since move-in day. I measured mine last week. 143 degrees at the faucet. I adjusted it, measured it again 3 hours later. 121. Same showers, same dishes, same laundry. The only thing that changed is my utility bill. Stay with me on this one. Here is why this matters more than you think. Water heating is the second largest energy expense in your home. Only your heating and cooling system costs more. According to the Department of Energy, it accounts for roughly 18% of your total utility bill. The average American household spends between $400 and $600 a year just heating water. At $163 a month for the average electric bill in 2026, 18% of that is about $29.34 every single month, just keeping water hot. And here's the part that gets expensive. Your water heater does not just heat water when you turn on the faucet. It keeps that entire tank hot 24 hours a day, while you sleep, while you are at work, while you are on vacation. That is called standby heat loss. The hotter the water inside the tank, the faster the heat escapes into your basement or utility closet. At 140 degrees, your tank is losing heat roughly 6 to 10% faster than it would at 120. That is where your money goes, not down the drain, through the walls of the tank. Here is why it actually works, and it is simpler than you think. Heat loss follows a basic rule of thermodynamics. The bigger the temperature gap between the water inside the tank and the air outside the tank, the faster the heat escapes. At 140 degrees in a 70-degree basement, that is a 70-degree differential. Your heater is fighting to maintain that gap around the clock. Drop it to 120, and the differential shrinks to 50 degrees. Less heat escaping means fewer reheat cycles. Fewer reheat cycles mean less energy consumed. The Department of Energy published this directly. For every 10 degrees you lower your water heater, you save 3 to 5% on water heating costs. Drop it 20 degrees, that is 6 to 10% in reduced energy consumption. And the savings go beyond standby loss. Lower temperatures also mean less mineral buildup inside the tank, less corrosion on the heating elements. Your water heater lasts longer. The chemistry does not care what brand is on the label. All right, here is the fix. Took me about 5 minutes. Should take you about the same. You will need one thing: a kitchen thermometer or any instant read thermometer you already own. That is it. Total cost? $0. If you have a gas water heater. Step 1. Find the temperature dial on the outside of the unit near the bottom. It is part of the gas control valve. Most dials show labels like warm, hot, and very hot instead of actual numbers. Step 2. Turn the dial toward the lower setting. On most models, clockwise means cooler. Step 3. Wait 3 to 4 hours for the tank to settle to the new temperature. Step 4. Run the hot water at the faucet closest to the water heater for about 60 seconds. Stick your thermometer in. You are aiming for 120 degrees. Step 5. If it is still too hot, turn the dial down another small notch. Wait another 3 to 4 hours. Test again. If you have an electric water heater. Step 1. Go to your circuit breaker panel. Turn off the breaker for the water heater. Electric units run on 240 volts. Do not skip this step. Step 2. Find the thermostat access panel on the side of the tank. Use a flathead screwdriver to remove the cover. Step 3. Pull back the insulation behind the panel. You will see the thermostat dial. Step 4. Use the screwdriver to turn the dial down to 120 degrees. Important. Most electric water heaters have 2 thermostats, one upper, one lower. Set both to the same temperature. Step 5. Replace the insulation, screw the panel back on, flip the breaker back on. Step 6. Wait 3 to 4 hours, then test at the faucet with your thermometer. One tip. Mark the current setting with a permanent marker before you adjust anything. That way, if you need to go back, you know exactly where you started. Total cost of this fix? $0. Total time? 5 minutes of actual work plus waiting. Now here is the part I was most curious about. Let me see what the numbers say. I tested my water heater before and after. Same household, same usage. Same number of showers, same dishwasher loads, same laundry. Before adjustment, my faucet temperature read 143 degrees. I was running hotter than the factory default without even knowing it. After adjustment, 3 hours later, 121 degrees at the same faucet. My shower felt identical. I am not exaggerating. I asked everyone in the house. Nobody noticed a difference. The DOE estimates standby heat loss savings alone at $36 to $61 per year from this one change. Factor in reduced consumption across showers, dishwashing, and laundry, and total savings can reach over $400 annually for some households. I am being conservative and calling it $200 a year for an average home with a standard tank water heater. But here is the number that surprised me. At 140 degrees, water can cause a 3rd-degree burn in 5 seconds. At 120 degrees, it takes roughly 3 minutes of continuous contact to cause a 1st-degree burn. That is not just a savings fix, that is a safety fix, especially if you have kids or elderly family members. I did not expect the safety data to be that dramatic. 2 things before you try this, because I would rather you hear them from me. First, if anyone in your household has a compromised immune system or chronic respiratory illness, talk to your doctor before lowering the temperature. There is a bacteria called Legionella that thrives in warm water. At 120 degrees, it stops multiplying, but it does not die. At 140 degrees, it dies within about 30 minutes. For most healthy households, 120 is considered safe by the Department of Energy. But for high-risk individuals, keeping it at 140 with anti-scald mixing valves at the faucets may be the better move. Second, if your dishwasher does not have a built-in booster heater, it may need water between 130 and 140 degrees to clean effectively. Check your dishwasher manual. Most modern dishwashers made after 2010 have their own internal heater and will work fine at 120. Here's what it comes down to. Every water heater in America ships set too high. It costs you money every single day, and nobody tells you because nobody sells a product to fix it. You cannot buy this fix at Walmart. You cannot order it on Amazon. There is no affiliate link for turning a dial. $0 to do, 5 minutes of your time, up to $200 back in your pocket every year. That is the test. $0 spent, $200 saved. See you next time.